I'm going to do, I have to bring baseball into it. I'm going to do 9 business lessons I learned from baseball. Ready? Go. Okay. So one of the most surprising things, so I love baseball. I love to tell my foreign friends how awesome baseball is because, of course, none of them believe me. Why would they? It's a crazy, crazy sport. One of the biggest surprises to them is that every baseball field is a different size and a different shape. It's true. How can you play a sport where every field you go to is a different size and a different shape? Well, it is. And that's kind of how life is, right? You know, you never know who you're going to be dealing with. You never know what kind of shape you're going to be dealing with. And that's why you have to roll with the bad calls. Sometimes, you know, things happen. Sometimes you strike out. You can't argue it. One of the inviolate rules of baseball is you cannot argue balls and strikes, or else you get kicked out like this guy did just a couple of games ago, which made me really sad, as you're going to learn who that guy is. He got kicked out because he was arguing balls and strikes. He got fined like $1 million and kicked out for a whole game. Another great thing, everything can change in a moment. Carlton Fisk waving his ball past the goalposts. In life, in business, you never know what's going to happen next. You never know what direction it's going to happen. We had not lined up something to do tonight until Gary called me like a week ago. Things can happen in a minute. And you never know what great thing is going to happen. I was at this game. See this guy? He had the highest batting average possible in baseball. He had a grand slam on his first major league pitch. Things can happen. Magical things can happen. All right. Next thing. In baseball, you have to wait. It takes a lot of patience. You have to wait for your pitch. I cannot imagine how difficult it must be to be standing up there with a full count. The game is on the line. The ball comes and you don't swing because you think it's going to be a ball. You know what? You have no idea whether that's going to be a ball or a strike. You just have to read it. You just have to make a call, and you have to live with the call that you made. Next, another crazy baseball rule. Did you know that if the pitcher doesn't throw the ball, he can be penalized and everybody on base gets a free base? It's true. It's called a balk. You have to follow through. And that's how things are here, too. If I make a commitment to run an event, to have data field day this week, you know what? We're going to have freaking data field day this week. There's nothing that's going to change that because you always have to follow through. And boy, that's a crazy picture of Pedro, I got to say. Yeah, that's, I'm just going to leave that there. Another great thing. It's a long season. Probably the most surprising thing after the fact that the baseball fields are different sizes is the fact that they play 162 games every year, and the average game lasts over 3.5 hours. When people learn this, they say, how exactly do you have a sport where you have to be playing that long? Well, that's how it is. That's just how it is. A lot of things can happen, you know. You can't survive, you know, if you can't survive losing a few times, then you can't survive at all. Next, one of the best lessons that I wish everybody would learn, I wish all the general managers would learn this. Yes, it's awesome to hire superstars, but you cannot win at baseball with superstars. You have to have a team of average players that'll always win over a team with a couple of superstars in it. These losers won the World Series in 2007 as a bunch of average guys, a bunch of bums who went out there and just played the game. Next, you have to roll with the punches. You have to adjust yourself as play progresses. Tony La Russa innovated in baseball. He decided that it was a good idea to change pitchers frequently. This is another crazy thing. You know, you can have somebody who faces a single batter in baseball. That's pretty awesome, unless you run out. This is Mike Karp. He's a right fielder. That's him pitching. Sometimes you run out and you just have to deal with it. I'm trying to stick with it. Next. The great Ted Williams once said, baseball is the only field of human endeavor where you can fail more often than not and still be considered great. His lifetime batting average was .334. That's 33.4% batting average. And he's considered one of the greatest hitters in baseball. And that's kind of like life, isn't it? You never know what you're going to end up with. This is actually his ability to hit. So that's what I've got to say. Play ball. Life is like baseball. Roll with it. Move on. Okay?
Go Red Sox.
And go Red Sox, yes.